G'day, I'm David G, Sheshnag Yoga Centre, sheshnag.com. What on earth is Kundalini? This video is about Kundalini, a bit like being the Mercury in the thermometer. We'll talk a bit of shit for a while and see how we go. Basically, below the third chakra, you've got the predominant expression of animalistic tendencies. Let's call that your lower self. Animalistic, unconscious. Lower three chakras, what are they to do with? Power, intimacy, survival. Let's just say your higher self has to do with the spirit. The upper three chakras, what are they to do with? Speaking the truth, seeing the truth, and the unified truth. It's pretty serious, but all these are to do with the reality. It's not so much speaking your own truth, because that's animalistic and subjective. This is objective, subjective. Speaking the truth according to the universal perspective, where everything's governed by a universal law, not relative to your own beliefs and values. You've got to eliminate yourself when you speak the truth, which is quite a challenge. Similarly, the third eye chakra, Agnya chakra, is to do with seeing the truth. You also experience clairvoyance there, but seeing the truth according to the unified reality, the spiritual perspective, which is really hard because we have this tendency to judge things and filter things according to our experience, and then we see things coloured relative to how we hold things to be true. So if you can see the truth objectively and spiritually, then that's to do with this chakra, third eye. When your Kundalini blows out your head, your Sahasrara chakra, you become unified. So that's the unified truth, the reality that we are connected, that you're actually insignificant, and that life is totally coordinated and just on the most intimate divine level. The goal, let's say this is the divine part, the goal, like Jesus, the Christos, let's take him for example, or this, what do you call that, the Star of David, to bring the divine down. At the same time, living balanced and respectful in the physical dimension, expressing it from your heart. This is the heart chakra. To do with so that's the goal of Tantra, to awaken the divine, to express it physically through an expression of pure being or love. So the Kundalini sits in your Sushumna. Sometimes it's at the bottom when you need to survive. Sometimes it's below Brahma Granthi. Sometimes it's below Vishnu Granthi. Sometimes it's below Rudra Granthi. Doesn't really matter, it's just an experience of life. Sometimes it's dualistic, sometimes based on the sympathetic nervous system through the left side of the brain, sometimes it's parasympathetic and through the right side of the brain. Sometimes the brain hemispheres are balanced when the energy goes into Sushumna and the Kundalini moves up and down Sushumna. So basically your Kundalini moves up and down a channel relative to what you're expressing at any point in given time. So ultimately it comes to an expression of love and balanced expression, but sometimes it's low, sometimes it's high, sometimes you're awake, sometimes you're asleep, sometimes you're conscious, sometimes you're unconscious. Depends on where your Kundalini is, or your Mercury in your thermometer. Your thermometer in this case, the Sushumna. The Mercury, the Kundalini. There you go. That's a little bit of a wrap on the chakras and your Kundalini, how it flows, how it's expressed relative to the divine in you, how you perceive that divine, how you can try and express that unconditionally in a form of love that is non-judgmental and pure being. Oh, good luck with that one. It's very difficult experience, I find, not to colour every experience, not to colour every projection. But anyway, there you go, the Kundalini in your thermometer. Everyday philosophy from the everyday guru Om Devji. Om Namah Shivaya, share the world, peace. Har Har Mahadev.